maintained that there were 0 American citizens detained. Obviously, the number is more than 0 if there's 3 here in the room today. Is there any way to keep track of how many U.S. citizens are being detained and how many have been up to now?
Well, I entered into the record a February 6th letter from her to me acknowledging 38. That covered only a limited amount of time. There have been reports of 170 or more in the public press. The agency is not counting, and we have no statistics because we don't have access to that information. But she certainly does. And that's another area where I intend to explore.
Just add on that. The problem with her leadership of that agency, and we see this with the FBI under Kash Patel and others, is you frankly can't believe a word they say. If she's going to go out there in the immediate aftermath of the shooting of Renee Good and Alex Preddy and call them domestic terrorists, how can you accept any representation made by her office? So if they say no citizens have been arrested, we know that's not true. In her testimony today, she said 1,500 known or suspected terrorists have been arrested by DHS. Do we have any idea where that number comes from? Are these terrorists along the lines of their claims of Renee Good and Alex Preddy? How are we supposed to evaluate that? One thing they didn't include in their numbers is how many of those known or suspected terrorists were actually prosecuted for terrorism-related crimes, or any of them even convicted. As a former prosecutor, that's a much more meaningful number than just throwing out 1,500 people who they, given their very broad definition of terrorism now, who they are suggesting that they've arrested. We have seen in other agencies where you put out statistics that are accurate, like the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and you get fired if those numbers aren't pleasing to the president. So the problem is we have agencies that we can't trust, under leadership that we can't trust, and by and large Republican colleagues who are not willing to insist on answers to questions. And that means there is really no effective oversight going on. That will remain the case until either there's a change among our Republican colleagues or a change in the majority in Congress. But right now, I think the only thing we can be confident of is the fact that, as the judge, one of the judges in Minnesota said, that hundreds of court orders are being violated. We can be confident, I think, that there is just enormous waste, fraud, and abuse within the department itself that we will only learn about later, that we will have to try to claw back from these sweetheart deals that are trying to expend money hand over fist. I mean, it does seem to be an environment at DHS right now, as in so many other agencies of our government, where there is such an extraordinary amount of money, and it is just grab what you can while you can get it. While no one is looking, just grab what you can while nobody can catch you. But there will come a time where there will be accountability. If it's not now, it will be, I hope, very soon.
You know, the only footnote I would add is that the mantra seems to be grab as much as you can get, even when people are looking, because the arrogance is just staggering.